Hello everyone and welcome to February's installment of Mary's Mail. I'm Senator Mary Landrieu and I look forward to these opportunities to share with you a few thoughts about a few select emails and pieces of mail that I received from you during the week. This week, many of you had questions about the funding cuts in the continuing resolution in the House of Representatives. It was passed and headed over to the Senate. I disagree strongly with many of the cuts that were made in that action on the House floor. We absolutely need to move back to a balanced budget. The last time we had one was President Clinton was president many years ago. We can get there again, but we must do it by cutting responsibly, by cutting programs that are weak or mediocre, or by eliminating fraud, waste, and abuse. But the first question from Dan comes, Senator Landrieu, I was alarmed when I was informed that the CR that the House passed would eliminate funding for AmeriCorps. It were AmeriCorps programs that brought me to New Orleans, he said, 4.5 years ago. Through AmeriCorps, I came to New Orleans to work with New Orleans Area Habitat for Humanity. Now I consider myself a New Orleanian, he says. AmeriCorps has been the best thing I've ever done with my life. It's made me a better citizen. Senator, I hope you can support AmeriCorps. I absolutely do support AmeriCorps, and that's exactly an example of one of the good programs that were virtually eliminated by this House action. Another one that comes to mind is Teach for America. Louisiana has more Teach for America teachers per capita than any state in the union. And they're teaching in tough classrooms with kids that are hard to reach, but they're making a great effort and having terrific results. So between programs like AmeriCorps and Teach for America that would be virtually all but eliminated is one reason that I am not supporting that direction from the House and will be negotiating a more responsible budget reductions and pathway to deficit reduction and a balanced budget this week in the Senate. The second question has come from Troy in Angie. Troy works in the oil industry as a driller. He emailed me writing, Senator, I'm a proud driller in the Gulf of Mexico. I'm just wondering if there's any hope for our oil and gas industry. I only ask because I had to watch Tool Pusher lay off 7 people because an operating company that hired one of our other rigs and now can't get a permit. I fear for my job and the future of my family. Thanks for your time and support of our industry. Troy, I'm just as frustrated as you are and just really so anxious about the situation. We're doing everything we can as a delegation, united, to put pressure on this administration to release permits so our people, including you, can get back to work in the Gulf of Mexico. We were, yes, affected by the oil spill, but our jobs are being affected more by the permitorium. That's what we're calling it now. Not a moratorium, but a permitorium, because even with the moratorium lifted, we still are having difficulty getting permits out of this Interior Department. It's extremely frustrating to me. We've held up appointments. We're going to be blocking budget items. We're going to be doing everything we can to get these permits released from the Department of Interior. So I thank you for writing. I just ask you to hold on. We're also making sure that if people like you are laid off, that you get some compensation for that, either through the BP settlement money or through a special fund that's been established through the Baton Rouge Area Foundation. One final question, the final piece of mail today, is from Dave in Hornbeck. He writes, Senator Landrieu, you and another senator were on the Dr. Phil show last October and discussed your goals in helping kids in the foster care system. Is it still a priority? Do you have any interest in supporting foster care parents and how we can do a better job in these financially turbulent times? Yes, and first of all, thank you for being a foster care parent. We have over 6,000 children in foster care in Louisiana and over 600,000 across the United States. Our number one goal, of course, is to return, if appropriate and if safe, many of those children to their birth families or to a relative that could raise them as their own. and then if not, to place them temporarily in foster care until an adoptive home can be found. We have many excellent foster homes. I'd like to continue to work, though, on recruiting quality foster care families. I'd also like to recruit more adoptive parents for children. I believe that every child needs a permanent, loving home, and we do want to try, if we can within the budget, to help foster care parents. But what we really want to do is have foster care be temporary and have either reunification measures put in place with wraparound services to the birth family, or we want children with their sibling groups to move to a new family, either a relative or someone in the community, to adopt them and raise them as their own. It's a high priority for me. I chair the Congressional Coalition on Adoption. I also am co-chair of the Foster Care Caucus in the Senate with Senator Grassley. I travel all around the United States and all around the world advocating for orphans and for foster children, and will continue to do so. So thank you for what you're doing, and I continue to support your efforts and thousands of others who are helping as well. Thank you so much. Please send additional questions and emails for the next monthly installment. You can send an email through my website, Landrieu, that's LANDRIEU, .senate.gov, or send a letter the old-fashioned way. We'll do our best to respond. Thank you so much. God bless, and have a wonderful Mardi Gras season and a happy Easter coming up.